And news today that the Mexican government has captured the son of one of the country's most powerful drug lords, the Sinaloa cartel. As President Obama, who will be visiting Mexico April 16th to 17th, discusses issues coming up on the drug war. Federal agents are also going to be deployed to the southwest border, as we've been discussing with the mayor of Los Angeles. With us now is the head of the Homeland Security Committee, Joe Lieberman. Thank you, Senator, for joining us.
Pleasure to be with you.
We are trying to figure out whether the announcement today from Homeland of additional Border Patrol and Customs agents is going to make a difference in this drug war. Is this enough? It seems as though, given the size of the border and the nature of the problem, that this is just a drop in the bucket.
Yeah. It's a good step forward, but the answer is it's not enough, and I hope in the regular budgetary process this year that we will appropriate more money for customs and border protection people, for immigration and customs enforcement people, and very importantly for alcohol, tobacco, firearms to stop the flow of weapons and cash back into Mexico for the drug lords that they're using to kill people in Mexico and now to come over and spill that violence into the United States. This is a Homeland Security problem now. I'm glad the Secretary is beginning to show some real leadership on it.
Senator, I was talking to one of your colleagues, Jim Webb, admittedly from a gun state, Virginia, and he said that the guns that are, being held accountable for this from Mexico really aren't the guns, that they are, rocket launched grenades and other major weapons are involved in the drug war, and that the handguns and the guns from gun shows can't really be held responsible. So which is it?
Well, I think there's a little truth to both sides of it. There are apparently some highly sophisticated weapons that the drug cartels are using against each other that can't be bought at a gun show. But a lot of the stuff that they've got is apparently being bought here in the United States, either legally or illegally. Semi-automatic weapons, for instance. 7,000 people have been killed in the last year in Mexico as a result of this drug violence, and almost 10 a day in Ciudad Juarez, which is right across the border from El Paso, Texas. So this is serious stuff. This is the first time in my memory that our friends and allies in the Mexican government have asked for our help, and I think we really got to give it to them in what's called the Merida Initiative, and I hope we'll support them. This is important to them, but also to us.
The head of national security, Dennis Blair, testified last week that Mexico has lost control over a lot of its territory, the drug corridors. Is that a cause of real concern? There was a big reaction in Mexico, as you can imagine. They didn't like being described that way.
Yeah, I wouldn't have described it that way. I think the government of President Calderon, one, has shown tremendous courage in acting against the drug cartels. That's why they're now competing for limited passages up into the U.S. and for territory. Two, the government of Mexico is in control of Mexico. There's no doubt about that. In fact, in Juarez, where they were concerned about the local police losing control, President Calderon sent in 5,000 of the Mexican army, and there's some relative tranquility and order that's been restored to Juarez. So no, I wouldn't agree with that, but they've got a problem, we've got a problem in controlling the flow of drugs here and the flow of guns and cash back into Mexico.
Is there anything more that we should be doing? Is this something where money and manpower is going to make a difference, or is this too big a problem for us to even get control around?
No, I mean, we've got to, I'm holding a hearing next week that Secretary Napolitano will testify at. I'm going to Arizona for another hearing in April. There's a lot more we can do to, one, have more personnel on the border. Two, use more sophisticated equipment. There was testimony the other day before the Armed Services Committee, on which I served, by the head of our Northern Command responsible for Homeland Defense, that the military is now giving technical assistance to the Mexican government and to people on the border. For instance, we're using equipment that we developed in Afghanistan to find out, so we could look and see what was happening underground in tunnels. We're using that now to help the Mexicans and our Border Patrol people stop stuff from coming in. There are contingency plans if this violence spills over more into the U.S. Right now it's a serious but mixed picture. El Paso, right across the border from Juarez, is one of the safest cities in America. On the other hand, in Phoenix, the smugglers are involved and drug runners are involved in terrible kidnapping. Now Phoenix is the #1 kidnapping city in America, and second only to Mexico City, as I understand it, in the world. So this is a problem we got to devote attention, money, and resources to, because it has now become a major threat to our homeland security.
Joe Lieberman, the head of the Homeland Security Committee, thank you very much.